Okay. Welcome to the show. Podcast of all podcasts. Get it off your chest. How everybody doing? It's been a great week. Tell you why it's been a great week, because we here. You know what we do about this time? All praise is due to the Most High.
One time.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Lord God.
So we got that out the way. I'm glad everybody here. We're gonna go ahead and dive right on in. So today, what I want to get off my chest, I'm gonna talk about a couple of billionaires. Remember one? Was I think that was episode 2 when I was speaking on people playing with money. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple examples of how people playing with money. All right, in this country. All right. Now we're gonna go with dark money. I'm gonna explain to y'all what dark money is in the future. Just follow me. Watch this. All right. So, you good, brother?
Yes,
we
I'm good.
Want to
Go
make
ahead.
sure. Okay.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
All right. Want to make sure I got them. Let my man speak to everybody. All right. Now we're gonna get into this dark money right quick, man. It's important. So this is for the new conservative group. Conservative group is the Republicans. All right. Now this ain't the same Republican Party from back in the day. This is a different Republican Party. I want y'all to follow me on this. This group has just received $1.6 billion.
Oh my.
All right.
Oh my.
1.6 billion. All right, with a B. Now it's going to a nonprofit that's called the Marble Freedom Trust Fund. I'm gonna say that again if y'all want to research it. Marble Freedom Trust. All right, that's where this 1.6 is going. So they're receiving this contribution, and it's going to be in the form of a stock going to a nonprofit organization. So like more than 200 million of these are going to conservative organizations for this year. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Okay. All right. So the guy name is Leonard Leo. All right. So he's the co-chairman of the Conservative Federalist Society. Now, I'm explaining to y'all about this Federalist Society. So all I want to do is just give y'all this information. You do what with it, what you want. I'm getting off my chest because I feel like it's important for everybody to know what's going on out here around you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of us, especially in our community, who don't really know what's going on outside of our community. They doing a lot of concentrating on what's on the phone, and whatever the latest crazy is and dancing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with anybody want to have fun and everything, but just be knowledgeable of what's going on around you, right? Because see, this $1.6 million is allocated for them to do with whatever they want to do as far as whatever program they're trying to institute as far as getting ready for these midterm elections. Because it takes money for them to, speak to y'all, for them to say, hey, this is what we standing on and this is what we want to do, whether it's for you or not. It's for somebody's vote.
Mm-hmm. That vote.
Okay?
That vote.
It's for somebody's vote. So think about it now. $1.6 million going to this 1 billion with a B, going to this one group. That's concerning, is what I'm saying.
Right.
All right.
Startling.
Right.
It's startling.
So we're gonna get back to some facts. All right. So like I said, it's going to the Conservative Federalist Society, who advised the former president on his Supreme Court picks, and they run a deep network of other right-wing nonprofit organizations that don't have to disclose who their donors are. Okay. This is called dark money. That's the reason why they call it dark money. They can have anybody can drop this kind of money into whatever this organization, for them to spread whatever message they want to spread amongst their people. But they don't have to disclose who dropped that money off to them.
Right.
Now, this guy, he is, what I'm saying? He's, saying this is me, I'm doing it or whatever. But everybody else don't have to. So, that's starting with what's his, like I said, Leonard Leo. All right. Now, there were some documents that was connected, donating to the gentleman named Barreseid. All right, Barseed. Okay. Now this is a 90-year-old. So he's a 90-year-old Chicago electronics company executive.
Okay.
This is another way they follow money.
Electronics.
Yes.
90.
Right? Yes.
Doing
and
electronics.
Not only is he a electronic company executive, He's a philanthropist.
Mm.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
that's up under his name now.
Right. Right.
That's up under his name now.
Right.
For the people don't know, if you see something, say philanthropist, next to their name, it's about some money. They get to it.
They got money.
They get to
They
it.
got money.
All right. And they give it away. Also, at the same time. But you got to follow up under the guidelines of how they're giving it away, which is up under nonprofit organizations. We'll talk about that too.
Right.
So he was one of the ones they donated it to, one of the smaller groups, and funneled it through, his nonprofit organization or whatnot. Now, like I said, he out of Chicago. So this here says, so this huge donation, what it does, it instantly makes the Utah-based group one of the most well-funded organizations who can now ban all conservative causes in this country with no public profile or no website.
They're in Utah.
Yes. Now, what I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna say this again. They have all this money that they're dumping into this campaign, but they ain't got no website where you could just go, I guess, talk to somebody to find out. But they just don't have to be known of who they are. That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna get to where is this at? All right. So I want to quote this gentleman, Robert McGuire. All right. So he's the research director of Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, he looks over, make sure everything is going good with cash flow. That's where the ethics part come in.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to make sure it's being done, all I's dotted, all T's crossed, basically, okay?
Right.
All right. So this is what he's saying, quote, it's stupefying. All right? That's what he's calling this move that Mr. Leo just did with this $1.6 billion stupefying. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's something. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
This is a burning inferno.
Man,
this is an inferno.
Like of no magnitude that we have ever seen before. And a lot of us are blind to what's going on, man. A lot of us blind to that they spending this kind of money to block your vote.
Right.
That's what this is.
Right.
That's what my point is to y'all, ladies and gentlemen. They spending this money to block your vote.
Right.
If you one of the ones who believe that what happened in 2020 was a real election and nothing was stolen, you know what I'm saying? That's what this is. So they're getting ready to campaign $1.6 billion behind the gentleman who said it was taken from him. Something is in the goddamn mix here, man.
They've been doing it.
But not to the scale of where we can see it like this here.
Yes, they have. It's just let me say this. What's happening is that we now have this vast resource information that's dumping this information everywhere.
Right.
And it's being shared with everyone. But these types of things have been going on since the country was founded. Yeah, and that's why I agree with you. They just ain't been sharing it. We ain't been able to go here and find out this information, which is what we got to do, man. Right. You got to go on there and find out this information. Don't just go online just to be shucking and jiving, man. Go find out what the hell is going on with where you live. So yeah, you damn so right about that though. And so yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the dude is saying it's stupefying, largest known contributor to dark money as far as being dropped into a contribution or quote donation. Because when you're dropping money into a nonprofit organization, it's a donation. Right. You don't have to, there's no taxes on it, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to report it. Right. The nonprofit. So it's a win-win for everybody, It's a win-win for that conservative movement.
Yes.
We're losing.
Yes.
We're losing in these types of battles.
Yes. Now that's
because we're not getting activated in the areas where we should be being activated. Mm-hmm. I'm not a social media person somewhat, I get out and I do my thing, but it's important that those of us that are active be active in the proper areas. Don't just be out on TikTok doing whatever. I mean, it's okay. I'm sure everybody wants to have fun, and I understand it's an instrument of entertainment. But let's not spend so much time in that area where this type of information slides right by us because we didn't have a moment to take a look into those areas. If you're going to have, I look at my children's screen time. Tell you exactly what it is they're doing. If their screen time reaches a certain point, it's time for that thing to cut off. And we should all have that discipline.
Discipline.
We should all have that discipline.
That's
we should all have that discipline. If we do, we'll make ourselves more aware of these things, and we'll be able to tackle them. Head on.
Instead of it happening and then we looking crazy.
This move is kind of like a flea flicker in football. I got you looking over here, but I done tossed the ball over there, and he going around the corner, and you didn't even see him. It's the same thing that happens. It's been happening to y'all millennia, bro.
And it's time for us to, at least start to recognize what's going on. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to do anything about it, at least be knowledgeable of what's happening. I think if they're knowledgeable of what's happening, that might spark something.
Yeah. And a lot of it, that I'll share this with you. A lot of it comes from the simple fact that we don't really study the history of this country and really learn about people that were known as carpetbaggers that came and they pillaged the South.
Right.
They came and they really just ripped through the wealthy people in the South back after the Civil War. They came in, and Donald Trump is kind of a carpetbagger.
Yeah, I remember, I forget who it was, but they did call him that.
Yeah, and it's simply where you have someone that comes in and they take advantage of the ignorant. You got large families here in the South that have these vast, large amounts of wealth that were earned off of my ancestors, but they don't have enough intellect to recognize the basic science in someone like Donald Trump. He's a carpetbagger.
Yeah.
Anybody that see this dude would know that he's a carpetbagger, but because of the ignorance and the watering down of intelligence here, you find yourself in a situation where you don't understand math and science. You don't understand proper English.
Those are the two keys.
The tools.
Those are the two keys to get you there.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. We have our children thinking that math and science has really something to do with what's written down on paper. And it's more than that. Is that I can see math and science and how we move. Physics is in everything, how we move.
Yes.
You can find numbers in it.
Yes.
And then unless you've studied, you'll never be able to recognize.
Right.
That's a Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah.
I can see those numbers in line, so I know what the results are going to be from that behavior.
But they want to distract everybody.
Yes.
They want to keep you away from that.
Yes.
That's you saying the right thing. Make it seem like math and science is the worst thing to do. How?
When this is the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing. That had it not been for African Americans, this country would have never made it to the moon. Would have never made it. Would have never had all of these great leaps forward in science. All of these great victories all comes from us. Had we not been there at that precipice moment to save this country.
If they went to that bitch. But that's a whole.
They wagging the dog on us.
Yeah.
They keep us looking over here, and while things are happening over here, because of our failure to comply with just learning math and science and being a part of it, the way that our ancestors did.
We got to sacrifice time.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna have to happen. We're gonna have to sacrifice time because we spend a lot of time doing a lot of nonsense.
Yes,
I mean we do. We just
on the phone.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like I have to check myself. You know what I'm saying. Like when I'm on the phone, I have to check myself because if I got downtime, what's the first thing we do? We'll grab the phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's late night. You know, whatever. You got nothing going on. You just find yourself scrolling. Next thing you know, that algorithm didn't coach you.
Right.
It didn't coach you.
The science and the math of it.
Right.
That's
why I was on. You see what I'm saying? So we got to be more aware of that. You know, like know what you plan on is playing you. You know what I'm saying? Know what you plan on is playing you. Just like, you know, this gentleman here, you know, playing us because basically they buying judges.
Oh yes.
And we can see it.
Yes.
But they buying judges.
They're getting them
Supreme Court judges because that's the Federalist Society. That's where the last two came from.
Right.
Kavanaugh and Gorsuch.
Yeah.
They came from there.
Yes.
So that's something that I think that we just be knowledgeable of that. Just be knowledgeable of it. You ain't got to get involved in the politics or nothing like that. But I think everybody just needs to know that they putting the whole switcheroo on us. They've been doing it, but it's coming heavy now. Because if your vote don't matter, that means they're running the whole show. They're running the whole show. If your vote get to the point where they don't matter, because they putting people in place. Secretary of State's all over the country is with my man over there.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yes.
That's dangerous, man.
Yes.
You know, so I just want people to be aware of, you know, what's happening, man. You can still have a good time, but just be aware of having it. Don't deny yourself of that knowledge. Because like we were talking about earlier, man, that's kind of like what's holding us back. It's been holding us back, but especially the youth. They start to recognize who they are as kings and queens. They wouldn't be with that foolishness. What you were saying? You were saying something about how they holding themselves back, but it was a term that you had said while we were standing out there. But it'll hit me. But that's right. That right there, you know, is what's striking. You know, I don't know exactly how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it. Start here.
Yeah.
You gotta know who you are. Gotta know who you are. You know who you are. You will stop that. You'll stop that foolishness that you're doing right now. Because you'll look at yourself.
Because these type of men want to take your future. This man that you're talking about,
man,
he wants to take your future.
Yes.
He doesn't want you to have a future.
That's what this is about.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to vote. Know that.
Yeah.
If they want to lock folks up for giving them food and water while they standing in line, that's something that you should be able to say, hold on, wait a minute, why?
What we have to remember, Quentin, is this right here. Is that these type of men have existed in America for a long time, and they make plans on our grandkids.
Yeah. So their grandkids.
Yeah, so we have to. When we find these type of people, we have to expose them and eliminate them from having an effect on our communities. You know what I'm saying?
Because I mean, politics is gonna be politics. They're gonna, you know, people gonna interject and do their thing. But this is something different.
Oh yeah, that's not politics.
Yeah,
that's not politics.
This is something different, y'all.
Yeah, that's not politics.
But
that's a money move. That's a purely money move to, like I said, to try to put things in place so that they can make plans for my grandkids.
Because it goes so far down when you're dealing with nonprofit organizations.
Yeah.
And check this out. Let me tell you how slick that he did it. He put it into a 501c4, which is unlimited funds can go through there.
Right.
501c3, which is what a lot of people know about, you can't do those like that.
Right.
So he put it in this one. And he has no problem. There's no issues at all with that money. They got it and it's gone. They get ready to do some work to take away from what you have now. The little that we do got, we ain't got much. We're trying to hold on to what we have and build more. So to invest, because that's what he's doing, investing 1.6 for himself and his grandkids to make sure they can eat.
Yeah. So they can take advantage of our children, of my grandkids.
This is about right and wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying?
It's about money.
Well, yeah,
it's totally
about bread.
It's money. These America. We talked about this the last time. America was founded on the basis of taxation without representation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A bunch of men got angry about the way that they were being taxed by the king, and they threw all the tea off of the ship. That was the beginning moments. That was the precipice moment for the foundation of the country. People getting angry about being overtaxed. And this is simply about that. They want to continue to be able to tax us and get their money at the rate that they want it from us. You know, keeping the types of judges in place, having people imported into certain positions in administrations. You know,
so
these whole societies.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to fight that if we ain't got a lot of people that's ready to fight because they are knowledgeable of what's happening out here. That's where I'm standing with it. So look, let me tell you about this here. All right. So on the U.S. Supreme Court now, so they allow businesses and unions to donate unlimited money to 501c4s. So this is all something that y'all can research. Do your own research. Whenever I give y'all this little knowledge that I come up with and I done found, do your own research to expand more. You got to expand it more. I just want to give you little tidbits so you can say, all right, well, at least let me start here. Okay. And I just want to break it down for individuals who was like myself, who really didn't even care what was going on back in the day. You know, I didn't care what was going on back in the day. It was like whatever, because my attitude was, ain't nobody helping me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they doing in DC, I know it ain't gonna. I'm not gonna see none of it because I can look around. That's all I've been seeing. So politics, that was a long ways away for me back then, but now it's Front Street for me though. It's Front Street. You know what I'm saying?
But listen to me. You just said it. You just said it. When you were back in your adolescence, you didn't take it as seriously as you do now because you learned over the years. That's exactly where a lot of these kids are right now. And the reason for that being is because traditionally in our families, they don't take politics very seriously. It's not something that we will regularly talk about in group settings. We don't talk politics, and we should.
We just say who they vote for.
But that's part of it. Teaching them from youngster days. Just hey, these are some important things. These are important positions, not the money, but there are positions that generate wealth. You know,
that's important.
That's important. But we don't, because you know, and a lot of this is because we're coming out of, you know, we're being bombarded at a rate of recovery that probably no other group of people have ever had to recover from.
No, that's what
we're having to recover at a very fast clip. You know,
that's without a doubt.
You know, it hasn't been very long since we come really out of the Jim Crow thing. You know, so, but the strides that we have made, they've been tremendous. But you know, we still have, there are still large groups of African Americans that are struggling with just recovering from what their ancestors went through. They don't even want to think about no mess like that.
Well, and in some places still living that way. From like in I think Mississippi and I don't know about Alabama, but to where they still, you know, excuse me, sir, and you know, like know where they belong and don't go. Without having to have the signs up.
It was that way in Atlanta not too long ago. Don't act like this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm talking about right here today, 2022. In Mississippi, some of us know not to go in that area. They don't have to have a sign up anymore, but they know don't go over there. Don't eat there. You know, you can't go in there and eat. Like that's still going on right now. That's, you know what I'm saying? So like they want to spread that, but the 1.6 billion is what I'm looking at. And that's I just want people to understand it's some real stuff that's going on. That's all.
They're trying to take your future.
Man, it's some real stuff.
Trying to take your future, man. These are those types of big time money moves, dark money moves, moves that are done with that much wealth. Those are moves that are generational moves.
1.6 billion.
Those are generational moves, man. And
but just this one thing. But I'm just saying, but that's why when you say generational, because it's just this one thing, this one movement, that's gonna go a long way.
My question is would be, all right, we know these people are putting these things in position right here. Mm-hmm. All right, so how do we attack that? How do we attack that? And not only attack that, how do we eliminate anybody else from ever doing something like that?
Well, we can do it by going out and voting, of course, but you're gonna have to have help in the upper echelon of politics, because if you got people who
you gave the answer. Vote.
Yeah.
It stopped right there. It stopped right there.
Yeah,
it does. And vote.
But what about those individuals who have power now that go along with your boy? Because
vote them out.
This is what the issue is. The Secretary of State is the one who called the shots for all the voting when it's all said and done.
Okay.
Say for instance, that state, we say like Arizona, because that's one of them. Mm-hmm. Say for instance, that state, they come out Democratic, Independent, whichever, but not Republican who won. Mm-hmm. Because everybody from the mayor on up is friends of your boy, mm-hmm. they can change it all. Well, that's why I say, so you would have to we got to have help on the upper echelon, and they're gonna have to call them out.
I mean, if that's going to be the case, then it don't even matter. Yeah. Why even have the election if that's what's going to happen?
Yes,
but I truly believe that this is a precipice moment. Mm-hmm. They're not going to deny us. Yeah. They're not going to deny us. We get out and vote in the numbers that we just simply get out and vote in the numbers that went for Barack. Voted for Barack. Yeah. Get those types of numbers out again.
Yeah.
It'll be a landslide victory.
Yeah.
They'll stop counting at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Everybody was
out.
Everybody was out. Y'all remember with Barack?
They was having parties for that, man.
Yeah, I remember. Like, man, it's over.
Yeah.
Let's go run.
They ran it up that night.
Me and my sister Melinda were downtown.
What was part of that night?
We was at Ebenezer, New Ebenezer, and they were having a broadcast. And somehow, some way, I ended up getting inside of that building. But I'm standing on the side with like one of the guards, just watching the show. Okay. But Melinda was outside.
Okay.
She was outside. I'm like, I gotta go back outside. Yeah. When I went back outside to get Melinda, as soon as we got together, the dude came on the screen and said, NBC is declaring Barack Obama the winner and the next president of the United States. Like and the whole street just shut down.
Yeah.
It just shut down.
I remember that was a party that night.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was almost like that was almost Freaknik like.
Yeah, it was. Especially here.
Almost Freaknik.
Especially here.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gonna get those kind of numbers.
We just do it. All we got to.
I mean, we have them, but he'll have our help, but he got to be able to tell these people the reason why they need to come out. Because they don't see nothing. Like we talk like they don't see nothing. If they just going off of what they see and what they hear, just regular news.
And
they don't see nothing that's helping them.
And that goes back to your TikTok and your Instagram.
Yeah.
Is that they're wagging the dog in those areas. They're wagging them in those areas. So that they no longer get a source of information that's coming from a legitimate source to tell them to take action in this area. Yeah. And repeatedly telling them to take action in these areas. Even on a more personal level. You know, a lot of these, for me, I'll say this, a lot of these political ads and political endorsements, they almost feel so impersonal that I don't even hear it. Mm-hmm. Get more personable with people, Ms. Abrams, especially with Black men. Speak to us more personably. Draw me in the way that Barack did. You can do that. You my sisters. When I see Stacey Abrams, she look like she one of my sisters. I get out to do it for her.
You don't need to feel corporate.
Right. You feel corporate. That's it's a great way to put it. You feel you look straight, like you just Democratic, but what about me? What about the Black man? You know that if we get out and vote for you in that way, it's a landslide. Why not? Yeah. All of their ads are running at all of these other issues. No, Stacey, give me some representation. Mm-hmm. We've checked out because of just that reason: taxation without representation.
Left it alone.
Include me in your agenda. What will you do to assist me in my struggle? Because you know as well as I do, this state of Georgia pulls down on us.
Yeah, man.
It overtaxes us. Mm-hmm. And we don't get no representation in those areas.
So that's why something like that would have to happen. If not, they're gonna look at it and blow it off.
Yeah.
They're gonna look at it because they don't see nothing for them. And don't get me wrong, both sides do, these kind of campaigns. Both sides get money. I'm not just saying that, Republicans the only one that get money and do this kind of stuff. Democrats get money and they also do campaign stuff like that. But the difference with this one is they're basing everything off of what happened in 2020. They can't sit up there and just go off of just straight facts like your man now.
Right.
The judge sat up there and said, okay, well, if these are classified records, man, just show me the proof.
Right.
They said, well, we can't really say nothing on about right now, and woo.
Right.
And,
right.
That's a dangerous game to be playing, though.
But America's always been like that, though.
Yeah, but I'm talking about now with this gentleman and classified information.
It always been like that. America, go back and look at some of these presidents in this country. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, talk to me.
It ain't all what it cut out to be. It ain't all what it, we want to look at all of these figures because they have the title in front of them as president that they were all such glittering high ethical men. No, they weren't.
No, not at all.
No, they weren't. And Donald Trump is just another one in that order.
But they got to be the bottom of the barrel.
But because of the exchange of information. Because of the readily vast consumption of the information that, and I don't endorse what he has been doing in any kind of way. I think he's somewhat treasonous of his behavior.
That's what treasonous. Yeah.
But to me, I'm a black man in this country. You just another one in a long line of these types of men that we've always had to deal with these type of men. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. What I tell you? What I tell you back?
I knew you was going
what I tell you back in the day? We had this exact same conversation back in the day, 30 years ago. What's the difference?
Yeah, what not? Yeah.
What's the difference?
Damn sure wasn't. So.
And we have to, because we don't galvanize and get out and vote with a purpose. Go and cast your ballot with a purpose. Put a purpose behind your ballot. This is your opportunity to take that ballot and use it as a weapon to destroy this system of things. This is the first opportunity that I can remember in my lifetime. Not even when Barack became president. It wasn't this impactful of an election.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is a survival thing, man.
We can chop the head of this thing off. Be done with it. Be done with it.
Yeah. My man. So yeah, man, that's where we kind of sounded off on, man. That's a lot of money to get in the way of us, basically. That's why I want to bring this to y'all attention. They're spending that kind of money publicly. All right. This is publicly. He let it be known that this is what we're doing. Remember, I told y'all 501c4. They don't have to show who their donors are. He knew this going in, but he made sure he put it on Front Street. That's what I want y'all to see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Think about, damn, that's some nerve. Because remember, it's based off of the last election. My man still saying that he won. Now, if you got common sense, I don't care what color you are, if you got common sense, then that move that they're doing, that's a real dangerous move, man, for society, for democracy.
Yes.
Because Listen, I know we go through some shit, but I would hate to see what it looked like without democracy over here.
Wow.
Because I said, I remember when he first got in, yo, man, he got signs of a dictator, man.
Right.
He wasn't even 6 months in.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong now. Listen, if he was to be just, he really did for the country and just whatever, things like that of that nature, then okay, but that wasn't even going on. And he started associating himself with other dictators. Like, what for then? What you doing that for? Why would you do that?
But
you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna call it.
I'm not questioning. I know why. I want my audience to question it.
But we already know Donald Trump is another form of a Goliath. He's another form. He's the form that comes in and takes on this loudmouth, yelling, roaring thing. And we already killed him. You're down for the count, bro. And when we put Stacey in office and when we get this brother reelected, it's over with for you and your cohorts. It's over. This system of things will tumble down like the walls of Jericho. Just that vote. Vote.
And going off of that, I want to advise everybody too, because this stuff that he going through, if them people fuck around and do, put it behind bars, he got people that are willing to go to war for him.
Yeah.
I want y'all to know that.
Yeah.
He got people that's ready to go to war for him, man.
Yeah.
We out here clubbing and, kicking it and all that, and that's good. It's people preparing for war, literally. They showed you on January 6th that they will do it. Because if that was us going up in that thing,
they're making plans for our grandkids, bro.
Yeah.
They're making plans for our grandkids. How can I desensitize them enough to where they will pay no attention to education? How can I desensitize them enough to where they won't care about math and science?
Well, they whitewashing it in some of these places now.
Yes.
Can't even talk about what happened in slavery. Huh?
What I'm gonna add this right here. A lot of that comes from the fact that they don't want us to know where they come from, how they ended up here.
Because if you keep digging, you'll find out.
You'll find out.
Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right. Y'all were kicked out. Y'all were kicked out. Y'all didn't come over here because y'all wanted to. The largest portion of the immigrants that came over here from Europe were kicked out of Europe because of they had genetic disorders from inbreeding. The inbreeding that was going on in Europe, it was exploding, and the king called it the great. Alvin,
got to get you on here now.
Right. Yeah. But if you research it, you'll find out exactly what I'm talking about. He kicked them all out, and they came here without the genetic ability to handle the land. They didn't have the genetic ability to handle the land and tear the land down. So who they going to get? Who they going to get? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They come in, they get us. And as we have continuously spent millennia over here with them, they have absorbed a lot of our genetic code. You can, if you take the look, and I'm rambling on. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist. But you can see the impact of having us here with them, just physically being here.
Yes,
it has an impact on the whole country.
Yeah,
it's the greatest. It was the greatest wealth building era in the history of the world.
And not only that, they're benefiting off of our own melanin.
Absolutely.
By us like being here as well.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like without us around, cancerists will go crazy. But with us here, it helps. Now that's the science part. I can't go no further with the science part. Research it yourself.
But if you look at the history of this country,
just want to give you the start off though.
You know, the king kicked most of the people that landed over here. They were kicked out. They didn't come over here voluntarily. It wasn't like y'all just wanted to come. But we have to institutionalize more education on our own behalf, teaching in those areas. We should rely on the education system to teach us very much. Mm-hmm. Me and you talked about this 20 years ago, how Jesse Jackson fought against the expansion of the deregulating of the education system because they said that in the regulation would be ketchup would be a vegetable. And Ronald Reagan was trying to break down, he was trying to deregulate the curriculum so that teachers could expand and teach in those areas. But because the system of things didn't want that expansion to happen, they used some political advocates and gave them some misinformation about what the legislation would actually do for us as a community. And we were desensitized to that whole process when Jesse Jackson told us, hey, this is going to be, they're going to serve y'all kids ketchup for a vegetable. And it never was that way. But that system of things, that same thing with the billionaire on the other side, used those influential agencies, this nonprofit line, and fed this thing into our communities where we were desensitized thinking that this program that was actually good for us. I read it. My mama made me read it. My mom was very high on politics. She made me read it. And when I read it, I became desensitized. I was like, no, Jesus lying. But it was simply because that was important in my family that I do that stuff. Right. Had it not been important to me for my parents to have me read something like that, I would have been caught up in that same process, being desensitized because of these billionaire families that are making these investments for years for their causes, whatever their cause may be. I mean, Democrat, Republican, I just want to be free.
Yeah. Me myself, I think I'm independent, man. You know, I don't. Somebody show me something. Like Bernie talking good. You know what I'm saying? Bernie talking good with the healthcare plan that he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And I guess because it strikes me, you know, it hits home for me because I'm in the healthcare field, and I don't see why we don't have full healthcare for everybody.
Because I know people will abuse it the way that they abuse all of our other services, and it would run rampant.
There'll be a penalty. You set it up for a penalty or what have you. I don't know, but healthcare should be for all. It just should be, man.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
It's a documentary. I want y'all to check out.
I kind of stand on the other side of that though.
And that's cool. You know
I do. I kind of stand on the other side of that because I think that in a lot of ways we make too much for free here in America. It's too much free stuff. You know, and that's what in my thought process, that's what has fueled a lot of this inflation, all of this free stuff that was given away during the pandemic. All that free stuff, it got out there in the economy.
That's bullshit. It was free.
But my thought process is, I'm in America. I know how these types of programs go.
Right, it ain't free.
I know how it goes. The working class man, such as myself, who is already overtaxed. You know, I bring home if I make $9,000, I should not be bringing home $6,000. I should not be bringing home $6,000. Yeah. I don't have money for you to be taxing me at that rate, but that's what they're gonna do to you.
Yeah, that's the game.
That's what they're gonna do to you. And when I hear people start talking about more free stuff, like, man, come on, bro.
But healthcare for me, I think it's for all. You know, because you got to remember, see, I've been out into the field. I done seen some sick people. You know what I'm saying, and they get turned away because of no healthcare.
But why don't you have healthcare?
It all depends on question. Like those places where I was working at. Whatever it is, the laws down there, why they don't have it, you know, because a lot of them was, you know, of another race. So that might be.
But why don't you have health care?
I don't know. Man.
Because chances are because you're not working or because you didn't sign up for it. You understand my point?
Yeah.
I mean, we've already got solutions to these things in place. There's already a solution to getting health care. There is a solution out there for it.
Yeah.
If you get active and get it.
Part of that high ass cost. So that's another reason why.
But then, how is it fair to put the high cost on me, the wage earner?
I don't want it on me. It's on me too.
So you know what I'm saying? When I stand on the other side, when I hear people start talking about more free programs, I start to get very hesitant because
see, like I say,
that's work for my money.
But I've seen some sick folks. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them. You know, and to be turned away because of that, that's.
But why didn't they have health insurance?
I ain't asked them. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like the system should be able to see them. You know, you can go to Canada and still be seen with no health insurance. You see what I'm saying? So free healthcare is just not everybody have health insurance.
Okay.
You can go be seen if there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
If you don't have health insurance.
Okay.
That ain't the case in this country.
Okay.
That's a sad situation. That's not cool at all. So because they don't have the money to pay to be seen, you won't see them.
Well, let me say this.
Basically, that's what that is.
I would be all for that type of thing if they tax the people that can afford that type of stuff. I can't afford to put that up. Yeah. I can't afford to put another program.
And that's true. And that makes sense. And that makes sense. And that's one of the things that the last two presidents, well, the one now and Trump before. When Trump was in office, he gave all the huge corporations a huge tax break. They didn't pay a dime in tax.
Right.
Everybody else did.
Right.
Now, what your boy want to do, and that's cool. What Biden want to do, he want to tax. I think it's anybody over, I think $500,000 or something like that. But all corporate, all millionaires or whatever to a certain extent, you got to pay, a certain tax.
Right.
That money is supposed to funnel down to all the other programs like healthcare.
Okay.
And whatever else. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that ain't gonna happen if he lose the House.
Okay.
And the Senate, you counsel that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, because they already saying they're not doing it. That's why they ain't sitting down at the table now. When they do sit down at the table, all the yeas is gonna be for Democrats, all the other no's is for which you know what I'm saying. Right. So they playing games up there.
But my thing is that I hate paying taxes. I don't like my money going out in those areas. I've seen too much abuse of those systems. At what point do we say enough is enough with this bad behavior? And it's prolonged bad behavior because of these free programs. You know what I'm saying? It's just
that's something else.
And what it does, it just feeds into the system of things for another class or another generation of people to work at Walmart.
Yeah.
I
that's so the 1%.
We have struggled with taking care of Grady Hospital for years. And Grady, there's a very easy solution
Talk to him now.
To Grady being fixed financially. But it would take some work. Okay, you come there, and forgive me, mothers, but I gotta call you out. You have mothers to go down to Grady Hospital and have a child and never pay them for the birth and the delivery of the child. And yet you're getting $10,000 back in tax refund. You don't deserve a tax refund. You need to pay Grady.
I feel okay.
Yeah. Grady would find their way out of a whole bunch of situations financially if they could start taking those type of actions against that tax refund. Yeah. I mean, they take my tax refund.
Right.
for children.
Right.
Get hers.
Right. Okay.
You feel me?
Okay. And you say that's like the same thing.
Or whatever. And what you would see happen is the behavior would end. The behavior of having children out of wedlock and having children over and over again in these financial struggles, the behavior would cut back because it wouldn't be so beneficial. I got $5,000 last year for one child. I can get $12,000 next year if I have another one. Hit that check with that Brady bill. Hit that check with that Grady bill.
That should have slowed down.
Hit that check with that Grady bill.
Hey man, you talking about folks are going crazy, man. You remember the lady who hopped over the damn bank teller because they kept her check for $300 something dollars? Yeah. Man, you gonna have some sisters out here coming with that thing down.
But how do you think as African American man how we've been feeling for decades? This type of taxation has been going on us for decades. We've had to deal with that type of taxation on our money.
I've been through
and yet you've been able to skate free. Feel the impact, and I bet you change your mind about doing all of this stuff. Make it more costly. Well, let me say this. Make it less beneficial for you to continue to be in these programs. You know,
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? You stay, baby.
You saying because that's why a lot of them do it because of the ability to be able to get the funds.
Well, yes. Well, yes. Yeah. It's a lot easier for me to get assistance if I got 3 kids. I can get a free place to live for the rest of their lives. How is that fair to me when I have a mortgage that I have to pay? How is it fair for me for you to? How is it fair for you to have the same lifestyle that I have and you don't even work? And I have
right. Yeah.
You know, I'm game ain't.
Hey, man, you call it like you see it,
bro. Yeah. And it's coming out of my tax dollars. Hey, come on, cut back on some of these programs. It's so much. It's because what you would see what happened is if you would have simply cut back on the Section 8 program and give that money to the colleges. Give that money to the colleges. Give that money to the needy colleges. Exchange the wealth from one area and impact it on the other. Start making these colleges for free. Section 8, everybody got to work. Everybody, if I got to work and have a mortgage, you got to work. You got to have money. I'm sorry. It's unfair and unequitable to the community as a whole to have these types of things in place. It's not equitable to our community. The mindset of our community.
The mindset, y'all heard.
Of our community, because those are
unequitable. That's the hustle.
Yeah, but those are unequitable habits of consistent generation after generation of what my father would call a bastard child born out of wedlock. No disrespect, but that's the clinical definition of a bastard child born out of wedlock. And it's generations of this happening over and over again.
Now you right on
bad behavior. Yeah. So get that check.
Yeah.
Get that check.
Well, that's a dangerous game.
Get that check. Why they hit my check?
Yeah. But you saying that, but you got to remember now, as soon as this happened, if they don't know, they coming down there with something.
Well, baby, come on.
They coming down there with something.
You know what?
These folks jumping over bank counters for $300. But I feel you though. Because it's lined up the same. Yeah.
And what would happen is you would then have people participating in the system, getting healthcare. Yeah. You would have more people participating in the system.
Brought their bread to the junior college.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they can go to school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feed that money into generational wealth building and not sustaining bad behavior, because that's all those programs do is sustain bad behavior.
We're gonna have to do it within our own, because those sisters gonna have to talk to those young ladies and let them know you gotta change your mindset. We can say it all day long as men.
Oh, that check will change your mind.
Yeah, but I mean before that, it need to happen before that. You know what I'm saying? That's because
I mean, just imagine the impact to our community if we would have moved that money from that type of that type of program. Why can't Morehouse, Morrisville, Spelman, Clark, Atlanta, AU, all that should be for free.
Yeah.
For free. If you can make it because of the struggle that our ancestors had to come about. This is the gift.
Yeah, that reason.
This is the gift.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All of y'all get educated through college for free.
Yeah.
And watch the generational wealth. Watch the McDonald's start falling back. You won't see so many McDonald's in our community. Won't be a Walmart on every corner. Won't be a liquor store on every corner, because now we have generations that have gone through the process of learning math and science,
right?
And they no longer buy into the fanfare of it all, being wagged.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to wag a Morehouse man because his thinking process, his whole process of thinking is different.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to come with it.
You got to come with some.
Yeah,
and because we bought into all of these things, like the program that I was telling you about that Ronald Reagan was trying to initiate was going to allow the curriculum to be changed in a way where we could have started being taught these classic African American stories. You know what I'm saying? Get you in tune. Allowing any educator would tell you if they could teach what they wanted to teach, it wouldn't be what they're forced to teach.
Exactly.
They're forced to teach these things. They can't step outside of what the government says that they can provide as information to the children.
And so now they're narrowing it even more.
Even more.
Yes.
Yeah. Even more.
Yeah.
So it's going to take mothers and fathers of young minds that are like sponges to instill that information into them. You know, I learned what the Fibonacci sequence was when I was probably like 8.
Okay.
And it's a sequence of numbers that occurred naturally in nature because that was one of those things that was important to my parents for me to learn this.
Check them out.
We have to now instill that in our own kids. That's the only reason why the Japanese families and the Indian families, they leap forward from us in those areas because that's what they emphasize. Our communities and our families don't emphasize math and science the way that they do in the Asian community.
That's true.
In the Indian community, if you don't have some education, you ain't nobody.
Yes, that's true.
Especially go to the Nigerians.
Yeah.
Ask a Nigerian how important education is.
Yeah. That's real.
And we fail to grasp that part of our humanity.
Yeah.
There is a part of us that yearns.
I was just gonna say we yearn
for it.
Yeah, that's that supernatural that I told y'all about, man.
Yeah,
that's what you feeling. You feeling that supernatural trying to explode to go after what it's supposed to. That's what he's talking about.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna share a story with y'all. You all know this to be true. 13, 14 years old, you had a dream. God revealed some things to you. He took you to your kingdom. He showed you everything that he had for you. And because it was so great, when you came back and you realized where you were, you start running towards the dream yourself, trying to get there, running, doing everything you can. I did multitudes of areas I've tried to gain wealth in, to try to get to where God had told me I could be. And it's my running and me trying to get there that keeps me falling short of it. If I simply do as the scripture is very plain, shut up and walk. He told Joshua to tell the people to shut up and walk around Jericho. I'm giving it to you. Shut up and walk. And we fall short because we don't have people in our communities that teach that part.
Yeah.
That share the men. The men have been taken out of the house because I learned this stuff from my dad. Men have been taken out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've got generations of young boys that they don't get showed that part. They don't get told. Our mothers will call it puberty because we start going crazy trying to get there. Yeah. They call it puberty. That's what that is. And it's us trying to reach out to what God has shown us. It happened to Samuel. Samuel went to Eli 3 times in the Bible when Samuel was a boy. He was having these dreams from God and he was hearing God and he went to Eli. Eli was like, no, I didn't call you. I didn't call you. Go back to sleep. Samuel heard God again. So he got up again, went to Eli. Eli, you called me? No. Eli was like, no, he didn't call you. Went again, but Eli on the 3rd time, Eli recognized what the young man was going through. Had he not been there to recognize what he was going through, some people would have said that he was going crazy. But Eli recognized that it was God speaking to him. And what happens to us, we don't have wise men like that around us to recognize what is the young man truly going through.
Right.
So I can give him some leadership and guidance.
Right.
Women don't go through this traditionally the way that we do. So when they see it, they can't understand it. And they start calling it things like puberty. Well, it's not puberty. This is that young man coming into his spirituality. His power is being delivered unto him. You know what I'm saying? Great analogy. Imagine this is us. This is humanity. Every human. We come here, full bottle of water. As a black man by 12, 13 years old, God opened you up and he poured something into you. And it went down to the bottom of the bottle. Just like all of the drink mixers do now. It's at the bottom of the bottle. Yeah. And you know you got something in you because God fed it into you. So I know I got something in me. And then you start running after it. But it's still sitting at the bottom. And you're still running after, and the bottle is getting lower and lower and lower. You're still running after. And then at some point you realize, I need to ask God to come into my life and shake me up. But when he shakes you up, it's so frightening the very first time it happened to you. It's so frightening that you're like, no, Lord, put me down. I can't take it. I can't take it, Lord. I can't take it, Lord. Please don't do me like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, Lord, put me down. I do it. I try to do it on my own. Yeah. But as you continue to drink your life away, all of the good stuff is at the bottom of you. But at some point in your life, you're going to have to let the Lord come in and just start shaking you up. Well, it's at the beginning of your life, and you let him shake you up, and you enjoy your life with all the flavor that's in you. Right. Or you wait till at the very end, and he shake you up, and the end is super sweet. Yeah. But at some point, you're going to have to let go. Let God come into your life and shake up all those ingredients that he done put in you. You can't throw yourself. Then you can see. You know,
yeah, boy.
But it's like that though, for real. Yeah. You know, one of my favorite rappers, Jay-Z, in his infinite thought process in the game, in the song Throwed, one of my hits back in the day, y'all. Back in the day when your boy was out there, Get Throwed. The song is primarily about getting throwed, you know, partying back, throwing back, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing. But in his infinite wisdom, he says, get throwed like a football. Getting thrown forward like a football. And what happens to us, we start trying to throw ourselves. You can't throw yourself. Yeah. He doesn't say I throwed myself. He said I got thrown like a football. If you put yourself in God's hands, he'll throw you. You can't throw yourself.
Damn sure can't. No, man. Yeah.
I don't care how good Michael Vick is, he can't throw it to himself. But we get scared because of the shaking that happens, and we don't have, and because the fathers have been taken out of our houses to recognize what's going on with the young man, he can lead him through it. Now he's stuck in the house with a woman that has no idea of what he's going through.
But my mama just had to send me to my dad. Once that started popping off, you got to go on over there.
Yeah.
Because he saw it and he knew what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's speaking on. That's absolutely correct. Man.
Yeah.
You know, because I ended up dropping out of high school. And I remember this conversation with my dad, man, vividly. I ended up, so I was causing a lot of problems with mom. Told me I had to go dad, right? Went to dad. This is off Cleveland Avenue.
Right.
I'm over there.
Right.
And that's how I ended up going to George. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over there. I'm still, I ain't as hard-headed, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm new, so let me just see how the landscape is.
Okay.
Ended up still getting with some cats, you know what I'm saying? And we kicking it and everything. But I was missing home. You know what I'm saying? This is the other South Side.
Right.
So ended up running away. But when I ran away, I actually ran away. I ended up calling the homie, my partner, Rashid from Apple Tree, County Road, man.
Right.
And he came and picked me up. Where I messed up at, I left the door open. Like, not unlocked, but like open.
Wow.
So he took me over to my little girlfriend's house, kicked it over there, spent the night over there. And he ended up coming back to get me that morning. And he was saying that my mama was calling him because she knew if I'm going somewhere, I'm with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was like, Q, I ain't gonna lie to your mama, man. I was like, man, all right, you know what I'm saying? Right. So anyway, you know, so I ended up, you know, going back to the crib, and Pop was there. I went back to my mama's house. Even though I left his house, I went back to my mama's crib, you know what I'm saying? But he was there when I got there. She dropped me off, and shit, man, it wasn't no time. I caught one to the jaw. He hit me dead in my mouth. I got there and went all the way back, you know what I'm saying? And I stood there because I knew, I was like, shit, I already know why he did it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's like, man, you gonna goddamn just run away and leave my door wide open like that? You know, and you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't do nothing but stand there and take it because I was dead wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? But he handled that. Right. He handled that. I was trying to run away from him. Right. But he handled that. And I ended up going back over there. And I was up all night. So he talking to me all day. He talked to me all that day. And I remember one time, a couple times, dozing out. He's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, we're going to have a conversation. Right. And he sat there and talked to me all that day, man. And that was your precipice moment, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm speaking on it, because I remember that vividly, like this. You know what I'm saying? And from then on, I was gone. It was like, because he told me, he was like, man, I wish I would have knew. He was like, I wish I would have knew that you was trying to go that way as far as dropping out. Right. He didn't want me to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I was over there. I was with Mom, and it was what it was. Right. It was easy. You know, she like, okay, you dropped out. Right. You better work or bring some home. Right. Say no more. I bring some home, all right. Right. And you know, so, you ain't gotta go to school. I ain't gotta go to school. All right, cool. Right. So 10th grade, I was done. You running after that dream that you done had. Yeah, man. You running after that dream. Yes. You running after that dream. You know, but just and that's what happened to us. I was all over the place, but I was still. That's why I was trying to go. But that's what happens to us. That's how we get these young men out here running crazy, because there's no guidance. Mm-hmm. Your father was there. Yeah. Yeah. How many millions of young men right now here in Georgia that need that same experience, but because this system of things has taken them from their father? Yeah. He wasn't allowing that. Right. He wasn't allowing that. I miss him. You know what I'm saying? He gone, but he wasn't allowing that shit. Right. He let me know where every move he was at. Every move. You know what I'm saying? Because they ended up, I was a young boy. You know what I'm saying? When they, stopped messing around, my mom and my dad. But hey, you talking about coming through? You talking about calling? You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. He come pick me up every weekend. Okay. We gone. Right. Fishing, you know what I'm saying? All of that, So what you saying is the truth. That's but bro, that's how the system tears down. Yeah, man. They know. There's such a difference now. Yeah, well, consider this. How many African American men are head of the household where their kids at? That's a small percentage. I'm gonna get them numbers. That's horrible. Yeah. That's horrible, because now we have just that. And for each one of those households that has a son in those areas that doesn't get that leadership, they're gonna think you're crazy. Because there's no man gonna recognize it. No, there's no man that'll recognize what the young man is going through. And now he's all trying to find answers to this area in my life. I'm searching for answers on how I can get to this place that I've been shown I can have. So you trying anything? Why? Anyway, I'm trying to get there. Trying to get there. And so for this generation to try anything, it's a dangerous try anything. And they trying it, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we're speaking on it. That's why we're speaking on it. We're gonna get out. We're gonna get the word out. But they got to know. Yeah. They got to know. Yeah. If not, man, we ain't doing right. We ain't doing justice. Well, we don't tell them. Somebody got to tell them. Is it gonna be y'all? Because I know I'm on for it. But how do you? I mean, who's willing to go forward and put that word out like that? I mean, who? See, what has happened is the young men that were once leaders in our communities in those areas, the record labels have come and bought them, taking them out, and so now they're on this whole other trip where they would normally be active in our communities.
and being proper leadership in our communities, they're now being plucked away. You know, so
can't see none of them. I don't see none.
So I mean, it's going to take someone like you, other young men like yourself. Reach out there.
No, I'm game.
Pull them down.
Yeah.
Come here, so let me holler at you one time. I'm trying to. I want you.
That's the mission.
What we really have to stress to these young men is that I want you to see you live your dreams.
Yeah, man.
That's what I want to see you live your dreams, and I'll put you on a path where you can live your dreams, and you don't have to be violent nowhere along the way.
And we can show them that y'all are masterminds that don't even know it. Think about how they moving. Think about some of the moves y'all making. You making some moves that ain't right, but they
just spent $1.5 billion
to keep you from making your move.
$1.5 billion.
Because you're so creative. You're so creative. Like you said about that dream they had. Yo, man, I can remember when I was young, man, my mind would just always just be thinking about just different things, creating this, and just, that's just who we are. We're creative people. And that right there, they trying to stop that. They trying to stop your creativity, man.
Yeah.
That ain't that, nah, man.
What is the larger part of it, especially for America, is that it's the protection of the middle class. And that's when it becomes strictly about who has the money. And the vast majority of America's middle class are Caucasians, and they don't want to be replaced with African Americans because in some areas, they don't have the ability to compete with us in that way. That's the reason why one of the most impactful things that's happened to this city, and a lot of people don't know this, is that right now there's a Black general contractor that's handling the tunnel work at the airport. That type of large investment into a minority company,
that's huge.
That's big. That's but the traditional white families that would have normally gotten that work, they're not pleased with that. They've got to pull back from their expansion. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so it becomes almost a competition for the work because it's only, we can create and create and create. Yeah. But it's only so much land. Somebody's going, somebody ain't gonna be able to win. Yeah.
You're not gonna get all the contracts.
You're not gonna get all the contracts. And at what point the breaking point for this country is gonna be at the point where that group of people comes to realize that it's better for them to open them arms and welcome us in than to fight against us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And build more. The country is more than big enough for all of us. But it's that group of people that, that group of people that are $3, $4, $5 million rich, that area, on down maybe $300,000, that group and that middle class right there.
Middle class, really,
that middle class right there. Them the ones,
that's owners, real middle class.
Imagine right now, it's a commercial right now. I've been seeing the commercial on TV for years about windows. And the guy that's in the commercial, when I hear him talk, I'm saying to myself, boy, I would not want to write you a check for $50,000. But he owns his window company. They own the company. Yeah. But you can tell, dude, you really just got some money. You got some help. Because you ain't designed and did nothing. I ain't trying to call him out. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? No.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Right, and I'm saying to myself, boy, if you want to show up at my house for me to buy some windows from you, I ain't been buying nothing from you. Right. But somehow, some way, your family has put you in a position where you have all of this. Imagine him having to compete with a guy like me coming in. He don't want to have to compete with me.
Right. I follow your point.
He don't. No.
Okay. No. Y'all follow what he's saying?
You don't want to have to compete with me.
Yeah.
Come on.
So just open up and we all.
That's the money trip. That's the whole money part of it. You got some of our brothers coming in from the South that's coming here wrecking business in construction, doing their own thing, wrecking, and they're not happy with it. They can't compete with their work ethic, and their work ethic is superior, and they're dominating you because you can't compete. You gotta hire them. You can't beat them, join them. But now they've gotten to the point where now they're like, look, I ain't trying to.
They doing
I'm bidding for the same job you bidding for, boss.
They
I ain't playing with
hitting the sledgehammer no more. Yeah, man. I used to do construction back in the day, so yeah, man. Damn, dog. That's exactly where we at, though.
Yes.
That's exactly where we at, ladies and gentlemen. So just pay attention to what's going on, man. See what's happening around you, because that's heavy, man.
They don't want to compete, bro. This brother's over there at the airport wrecking them.
He has that contract. He got that one.
A general contract.
Yes, man.
Hartsfield.
Yes. That usually be like winter.
Yes.
Winter usually had that contract.
Turner Construction.
Yeah, Turner Construction. I ain't seen them in a minute. Beers. They probably didn't change to something else, but those usually be the ones who get
that type of money.
Yeah.
But and that's the fight. That's why, again, I say to you how important it is to get out, cast that ballot, and vote in this next election. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Vote in this next election, man. We can start really tearing this thing down and rebuilding it back into something that's even greater. Call it the Phoenix Part 2. We're going to tear it down and build it back even better.
Yeah, boy.
You know what I'm saying? Tear it down and make it even better, because Atlanta, bro, come on, we just waiting to release the crack.
Yeah. Really, though. So, matter of fact, let me talk about, I'm going to leave that one alone. All right, we spoke on that one a good little bit about that other side. But we do got another gentleman, Yvon Chouinard. The name is I think Dutch or something like that. So I don't want to be pronouncing it wrong, but it's something like, I know it's Yvon, but the last name is spelled Chauinard. Now, this gentleman, he's the founder of Patagonia. All right. But for those who might not know what Patagonia is, so it's like a outdoor clothing brand like Columbia and North Face, right? So he's 83 years old. All right. So this dude, 83 years old, he's the founder of Patagonia. So what he's getting ready to do, he's donating $3 million to his own nonprofit organization, and for each year for his sales, because they say he average $100 million a year for sales, is going to other nonprofit organizations, but only if it's dealing with climate change or anything to help the earth sustain itself. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only way people are going to be able to get those funds. So if it's somebody that's out there, listen to the show. If you got a nonprofit organization that's dealing with climate change or something to help the earth or something like that, you need to be looking into this gentleman. Yeah. Because he got $3 billion out there for that.
Yeah. We got a lot of brothers and sisters that are active in that environment.
Yes, we do. And I was shocked, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't really, you don't see it. We just be living. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But this guy right here, he's donating his whole share. And his wife didn't want it, and his children didn't want it. I got a quote here, matter of fact. His children said that for every billionaire, they're a policy failure. This is what his children said. So they didn't want the money. They didn't want the money of the company. Now don't get me wrong, these people still gonna be eating, of course. They're gonna eat, but they don't want to be in the world of like this other gentleman, who donated the 1.6.
Right.
They want to just be able to say, hey, okay, we've created this. I want to give back to help what helped me to create all of this, which is the earth. See, he was an avid mountain climber.
Okay.
This is how he got started. He was an avid mountain climber, and he made his own handmade mountain climbing gear, and he sold it.
Right.
And he just kept doing it, and now here we are, Patagonia worth $3 billion. So he right up there with, like I said, North Face and Columbia, North Face, Columbia, and him. Really, them about the only top three. But yeah, so he's giving his company away. Like I say, his wife don't want it, kids don't want it. So they're actually living, in his words, they actually live in the dream. Like he feels like this is what he's supposed to do. This is his calling. This is his purpose.
Right.
He's like, yeah, I don't want to be a part, because he said that he tried to sell it, but if he sold it, he felt like, well, whoever he sell it to, they might not, run it the same way. They might not be, as for real as he is about climate change and things of that nature.
Right.
So he didn't want to sell it. Then he thought about, going public with it. And he said, well, the only thing about that is a lot of companies, they go public, but still lose out trying to, just for immediate gain. So he didn't want to do that. So he said the next big thing was they come up with their own. So they came up with their own nonprofit organization, and it's going to be distributed like that. So from here on out, every year, because he said he make $100 million a year off of this company. So every year there's no more profit. It always recycle. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. No pun intended, but it's being recycled. Right. Throughout his nonprofit and others that's doing the same thing that he's doing. So those are two sides of this coin that I just wanted y'all to see today. You had this one gentleman who's doing so much that we had so much to talk about that was associated with what he's doing with his $1.6 billion. Then we got Yvonne over here. I'm gonna say Yvonne C, who donated $3 billion. All of his profits is going to Mother Earth. Not just a group or just it's going to Mother Earth, and anybody that's affiliated with trying to help Mother Earth. No matter what color you are, you live on this land.
And I promise you right now, listen,
talk to me.
This is right now. There's somebody that looks just like me and you or one of our offsprings that has an idea in their mind that will resolve all of these issues.
Yes.
But because they're so defranchised, they're so disconnected from that part of it, the idea never gets shared. It never blossoms into what it could be. You know what I'm saying? That's what the world misses out on when you have these things going on, because the cure to cancer is sitting in somebody's head. It's in somebody's head. We have to have get the people exposed and get them environments where the knowledge can come out of them, and we'll have these things resolved.
So if somebody out there listening to the audio, watching the video, if you know somebody that's got a lot of exposure, let them know about Yvonne, CHOUINARD. Yeah. The one, just say, hey, the guy who owned Patagonia. Right. He's giving out his money for anybody that's trying to, help with climate change, help with the earth. Yeah. So if you got a big mouth, you got a big exposure, there you go. Yeah. Get it out there, That shit.
There are solvents. There are things like solvents, and there are things like ideas for regenerating energy, recycling water.
Yeah,
all of those things. All of those
water
things.
for fuel and shit
right.
Like that.
All of those things fall under these type of
math and science,
and you can get this money.
Math and
you
science
can get this money. I recently, my wife went and purchased a Tesla.
Oh, okay, all right. Speaking of climate change and sustainable things,
I think that everybody should get one to get an electric car. It's so much easier. It's so much easier, so much more convenient.
All right.
Never having to stop for gas.
Yeah. True.
Plug it up at the house.
Yeah.
16 cents to fill it up. 16 cents to fill the car up.
Yeah.
16 cents.
Yeah.
So I'm spending like $1.58 a week.
And if they stop, I think they're supposed to be cranking it back up again when you get a rebate when you do buy an electric vehicle.
Yeah, you're still doing it. $7,500.
75. Oh, they went up.
Yeah, $7,500.
Hey, they went up. It was $5,000 when they first started.
But that's the bill that Joe just signed. Remember, Joe just signed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's a part of that.
That's part of that.
Yeah.
But that's see, all of that comes into impact when we put politicians in place that are going to do faithful things for us. You know what I'm saying? We gotta. I hate to going back to the vote thing, but bro, we gotta get out and vote.
It's like everything still
gotta get out and that, though. We gotta get out and vote, man. If you know anybody that is unwilling to vote, convince them. Find a way to get them to these polls, bro.
Because you don't want the latter. That I can tell you.
Man, I do not want to see Kemp running Georgia no more.
Yeah. That ain't what we want.
Kemp, you think I want to see Herschel Walker in Washington, D.C.? Herschel Walker representing the state of Georgia, man? Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah. Come on.
And from my understanding, that ain't no, it's a close race with them two.
Yeah.
You know? So.
We got to make this a landslide.
Folks got to get out, man.
Get out and vote.
We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure out how to help folks get out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody knows something to where we can all, connect something that's bigger than this. Let's do it. Yeah. Because it is bigger than this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is something that got to happen. And like I said, if they willing to put in 1.6 billion, it's a reason why. And I don't think he wants the latter, because if there is no democracy, you're gonna be fighting for real.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fighting for real.
Yeah.
If there's no democracy, if we sitting there, because that's what that would be.
In America,
a dictatorship
where people can walk around with guns. People can actually walk around with guns.
You wonder why Kemp did that. This is lying.
Walk around with a gun.
Anybody.
You walk around with a gun?
Yeah, man.
For what?
Yeah, but that's what we're speaking on. That right there. These type of instances, these type of situations. That's what's happening in this state and in this country. So just kind of be aware, man, what's going on, while you still enjoying life. You can still enjoy life, just know what's happening. Anything else you want to get off your chest, man? I'm going to get into the culture corner,
United. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. United. Let's go.
I ain't got my hat, but I'm still with them. I'm still with the Falcons. I ain't, we better not come back to Seattle looking crazy. I know that. A-Town, stand up.
A-Town. Make it do what it do.
So yeah, man, I'm gonna talk about Culture Corner, man. Let y'all know what's going on. There's a few things going on. Actually, we got it's called the Infusion Block Party. What you can do is go to infusionblockparty.com, right? So this is at it's at the bonfire at ATL compound.
Okay.
All right. It's gonna be having they got unique taste. They're gonna have vendors, culture fusion. They got we have live performances, international DJs. So it's gonna be probably like Caribbean style, I guess mixed with whatever we got going on here in the city. So to me, that sounds like it's gonna be a little fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's gonna be a lot of fun, man. And it's on the late night. It's from 8 p.m. That's tonight now. It's from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Where?
It's at
where is it?
It's at Bonfire ATL compound.
Okay.
All right. Bonfire ATL compound. You can go to infusionblockparty.com and get more information on that. And it looked like we got today and tomorrow Sweet Auburn Music Fest going on.
Right.
All right. So anybody from out of town, you know what's up with Auburn Avenue. So they got the Sweet Auburn Fest going on down there. That's today and tomorrow. Same thing. They're gonna probably have live performance. They usually do every year. Live performance, vendors, go down there and get some good food. I don't know if you can bring your own. Can't bring your own drink down there like that. On food, I don't believe. But go down there, Sweet Auburn, man. Enjoy yourself down there. Talk to the people, meet the people. You know what I'm saying? Talk about some politics. Because you're gonna be down on Auburn Avenue. That's politics down there.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. And one more little thing we got is the Secret Stash Comedy Show. This is at the ASW Whiskey Exchange. This is tonight, 7:30. Didn't really say, so I guess you just go to the secretstashcomedy.com and get all the info. But from my understanding, it's at a distillery, I believe it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that might be a nice little look. You got this free, little whiskey. I'm a bourbon man myself. You know what I'm saying? So that might be a nice little look for anybody, like brother, smoke a cigar, and listen to the funny man or the funny woman. And just, you know what I'm saying, enjoy your show, man. You just kick it. You get what I'm saying? So that's what's going on in the city, man. That's Culture Corner for the day. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna end up, wrap it up. I want to thank my man Harold Sanders.
What up?
I still call you Duke. I know you barely, but you know, this my guy, man. But I just want to say, man, thank y'all for coming in, tuning in. You know, want to tell the people something for your head out, man?
I love my wife, dog, and I'm done.
That's what's up. Yo, be creative, stay creative because you are creative.
Yes, you are.
I'll see y'all next time.
Yes, you are.
Peace.